my name is Rachel and it feels weird. I haven't filmed a video in forever. I'm here today to do my December wrap up, even though I've still not uploaded my November wrap up. What happened was, there was a November wrap up, but I read so many books in November and so many good books that the like raw footage of that is over an hour long, and I'm lazy as fuck and I've not edited it. So at some point I will edit that and it will go up. However, this December one is going to be easy because I've not really read much at all. December has been a no reading time. I have basically a week's worth of books that I read during the Read Your Gaze Happy Go Holidays readathon and the Queer Lit readathon. I put both of those together to have like a 10-day readathon instead of a week, and I read quite a few books for that. I was quite proud of that. And then I'm gonna be honest, met a girl, stopped reading. It's quite annoying. Haven't really read that much since, but the girl's nice, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna show you today the books that I have read, and this should be a really quick video because there ain't that much of them. So for the gay readathon that I was doing, I picked up 6 books I read, which I'm very happy with. Where are we going to start? We'll start with this one because I'm not going to mention it that much. I've done a full review of this book and of the movie like a month ago or something, so I'm not going to mention it that much, but I did finish The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. I've been reading this for ages, so I was really happy to actually finish it. I will say, like I've mentioned before, I think it starts off really slow and it's just not my bag for a while, but when she starts going to whatever the American version of secondary school is, this book really picked up for me and I really enjoyed it. I think it's just done so well. It's such a good like character study and a study of like people and the kind of evils that people can do but not necessarily wanting to inflict evil themselves. Yeah, it's a really good book. It's very complex and I think it's done really well. The movie was not, but yeah, we liked the book, it was good, so there's that one. It actually feels really weird sitting and talking to a camera, like I haven't done this in a really long time and I just I have so many videos to film. I need to get the fuck over it and do it anyway. I did mention, I can't remember what I mentioned it on, but I had Kim Reaper Volume 2 that I'd bought when I went to Thought Bubble, not realising that it was Volume 2, didn't have Volume 1. So I ordered Volume 1, it got sent in post, and then I read Volume 2 as well, and I really enjoy this. This is a really cutesy series. I wouldn't say it was my fave ever. I thought it might be, because graphic novels, lesbians, were in, but yeah, it's not my favourite ever, but it is very sweet, and I do really enjoy the girlfriend character. I can't remember what she is called, but she is so cute. Becca. Yeah, girlfriend's called Becca. I mean, so's the girl that I'm seeing, so that's weird. The illustration style in it I actually really enjoyed because I like the colour palettes it's using. There's a lot of purple and I just think it looks really cute. I enjoyed it a lot, so yeah, would recommend these ones. I don't know how popular these are because I hadn't heard that much about them. I'd heard them mentioned but I hadn't heard a lot about them. But yeah, great little like queer graphic novel series to pick up if you're looking for one. And then everything else that I read for that readathon were graphic novels, so I'm gonna mention those. So the first one, having to go on my computer because I read them so long ago. The first one that I read was called Dawn of Change and it was by Jerry Hill. So basically in November, October, like around that time, I slipped into a trashy lesbian romance books sort of mood and I really enjoyed it. It was great and I've read a few, so I have 3 to mention. So yeah, the first one is Dawn of Change by Jerry Hill. This is about a woman who finds out that her husband's cheating on her, kind of breaks up her relationship, and she goes and moves to a cabin in the woods that they had as like a holiday home place type thing. So she goes and lives there so that she doesn't have to live with him, and when she's there she meets a girl that she likes. They start dating. It's cute. It's very like straightforward, no drama. They try and make a bit of drama but it's not really drama. Yeah, it's not the best but I did really enjoy it and I would recommend it a little bit, like a tiny bit. If you're into them kind of books then I'd recommend it. Not if you're not though, because it's not the best ever. If you're just into like queer fiction in general, things like The Miseducation of Cameron Post, like it's not up there. And then I read Cord. So I haven't put up my November wrap up so you wouldn't know, but in November I read Style, which was by Chelsea M. Cameron. I loved it, gave it 4 stars. It was such a good book. It was just about these 2 girls who met in the one before college in America. I don't know what it's called. They met there and then they were like, it was like their first relationships, their first coming out and all of that sort of stuff, and sort of had them getting together and moving through the story. It was very, very lovely, very cutesy, and I really, really enjoyed it. So then there was a second book called Cord. So I picked that one up in December. It wasn't at the same level, unfortunately. I gave the first one 4 stars, gave this one 3 stars. I just wasn't as invested in the main relationship that was going on in there. So in it we follow Chase and Cordelia, and they've just moved to college. We do see the 2 people, Stella and Kyle from Style, in this book. They're like friends with them and help them like through their relationship and through like coming out and all that sort of stuff, but they're not in it a ton, if that makes sense. It was alright. It was quite disappointing compared to the first one, to be fair, but I still read it and I still like enjoyed it a bit. The most annoying thing though is that when I didn't realise why Style was called Style, and then in Cord they were talking about ship names, and they were saying how like their ship name would be Cord because it was like Chase and Cordelia, and I was like, is that why this book is called Cord? And then I was like, that's why the other one was called Style, because Stella and Kyle together, and I was like, oh, I don't like how this woman names her books, this is shit. So then I was angry at the names, but apart from that, Style's really good, Cord's not as good. The last one I read, I loved. It was honestly the trashiest trash I've ever read. It was so long, there was so much sexual tension built throughout this entire book, because I swear they don't even sleep together until like hour 12 and I just was living for it. I loved it so much. So it's called Falling Hard and it's by Jay. I've never read anything by Jay before, but I'm gonna invest in some of those books because I really enjoyed this one. We are following 2 people. We have Emma, who was recently got divorced from her wife because she found out that her wife was cheating on her. So she and her daughter have moved across the state. She moves into this like apartment building type of place. It's not really an apartment, but I don't know how to describe it. They move in next door to this woman who is called Jordan, and she is a surgeon. She sleeps with lots of people. She's very happy to just sleep with people, doesn't want relationships, all that sort of stuff. And this woman's ex who cheated on her was also a surgeon. So she's like, hate her, surgeons, knobheads, she's sleeping with loads of people, knobhead, I've just been cheated on, hate stuff like that, blah 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 blah. And basically they just like slowly start to bond and get closer, and the surgeon breaks her arm so she has to stay home and Emma has to look after her, and they get closer. It's so fucking gay, like it was so gay, but I love it. It was so good. So if you're into like trashy romance, lesbian trashy romance, that's like peak. I really enjoyed it. It was great. Would recommend that. And then they are all the books that I read for the Queer Lit and Holidays readathons. So that happened up until the 9th, and then I didn't pick up a book until the 30th. The 30th. I didn't read so many days. There was just all these days that I wasn't reading. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I feel good about it. I had a good time, but like, it's just, that's like 21 days of reading that I'm never going to get back. So it's difficult. It's hard. It was a hard time. But yeah, I'm just really over dramatic. But on the 30th, I then decided to read The Snowman. Really jumped back in with some highbrow literature there that has no words in it. I've never read The Snowman. I've only ever seen it. So I decided to pick up the little book of it, and I mean, I wasn't overly impressed. I gave it 2 stars. I mean, on Goodreads 2 stars does mean you like it, so like I'm not slagging it off completely, but this is just not the book for me. Like, I don't like graphic novels that don't have any words in them. And so this is, number one, very short, so there's not really much of a story there, and there's no words. And so yeah, I just think this is so much better as a like animation, like the film, because of like the music that's added and all of the sort of atmosphere that brings to it. It was like a cute little thing to read, but it wasn't my fave, so I gave that 2 stars. I'm sorry to anyone who hates me right now. And then the last book I read, very excited about. So this was one of the ones that I got for Christmas. I didn't ask for it for Christmas. My mum was like, I've decided to delve into the world of graphic novels to try and get you a graphic novel for Christmas as a surprise, because she knows I read a lot of graphic novels. And so she was like, I just picked this one. I don't know if it's gonna go down well. I don't know what the situation is, but I just picked it. And I was like, okay. And then I unwrapped this, which is Speak by Laura Halsey Anderson with artwork by Emily Carroll. So I was like, honestly, Mum, you did pretty well. I love Emily Carroll. She's one of my favourite illustrators, so you done good. And this is the first book that I read. I really wanted to pick it up. It has a really cute spine. I didn't realise when I picked it up, or until I was about halfway through the book, that the film with Kristen Stewart in, I think it's one of her really, really early films, is based on this. And this is a book that wasn't a graphic novel. It was a book, and then it was made into a graphic novel and made into a film and has this huge following. And I unwrapped it on Christmas Day like, oh, Speak, cool. Not even realising that I've seen the film already. So this is about a girl who's in high school, I think in America. It seemed American. It's very clear, very, very early on, so I don't feel like it's a spoiler. She has been attacked at a party. I'm not going to really go into details of how she was attacked, but a boy attacked her at a party, and it was a very violent attack as well. She goes back to school and everyone hates her because she rang the police and got this party shut down. And so yeah, she lost all of her friends. She is basically depressed, although no one seems to pick up on it. Like family and friends, everyone's just kind of like, why are you always moping about and being tired, and why don't you like cheer up and blah blah blah. And it's like, this is clearly someone with like PTSD and depression. Like I feel like someone should pick up on this. But they don't. It's all about her like learning to deal with what happened to her. Yeah, there's just like, there's a lot here. It's very heavy. I gave it 3.5 stars in the end. I really enjoyed it in terms of like, I think it's a really good story and the artwork is phenomenal. The only thing that bothered me is that, number one, it's a very heavy topic, and so it was a bit like, whew, okay, like it's heavy all the way through. But the other thing that actually did bother me about this book is that it's really like staggered. You kind of just like jump around. It's not linear. I mean, it is linear in that like it's happening chronologically except for flashbacks, but like it just jumps into new things. So like it has a little thing in the corner that'll tell you where it's starting, kind of like a chapter title, and then like this just says Phys Ed, and it's just like a 2-page thing. The next one, Friends, and then that's like 4 pages, and then it's Heathering, and this is 2 pages, and like it's very, it makes it feel quite staggered. So I really enjoyed this book, but I would say like I don't think it's told in the best way possible, and that's the reason that I only gave it 3.5 stars. However, I did really, really enjoy it, and I think the artwork is some of the best artwork I've ever seen, ever. Just, I love Emily Carroll. I wouldn't recommend it so highly if you have any issues with like sexual violence, self-harming as well. That came out of nowhere and I was like, oh, okay, don't like that. But apart from that, yeah, like a really good book, and I really would recommend it. That's it. These are all the books that I read in December. I mean, I know I have the audiobooks I listen to as well, but like, I just want to read some books, man. I feel like I'm losing my identity and I don't like it. But yeah, they're all the books I read in December. I don't know if this was a very good video. I haven't filmed in a long time and I can't remember how to do it. But we gave it a try. We'll see how it goes. Let me know down below what you read in the month of December, if you read anything good, if you also just ran into a big reading wall and just didn't read for a while. It'd be nice to have some company in my sad non-reader life. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!